Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his thing. Never seen a canceled death. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his thing.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? This is Bigger T. Travis Johnson coming at you for the Big C, Bigger T podcast. Joined as always by my man from headquarters in Greenbrier, Arkansas. Yeah. And it looks like some kind of room that you're planning a heist.
Yeah, 100%. I'm planning a heist. I don't know what heist I'm going to do, but I'm going to heist something.
If you're watching this on YouTube, Clint normally has some stuff. His wife's a virtual Arkansas teacher, and she usually has some stuff for like American flag and stuff like that. You know, you'd see like on a teacher's wall. But apparently she switched over to.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
You're doing an Ocean's 11 thing up there or something.
I'm too lazy. You know, I used to learn something when she would teach because I'm there, and she repeats the same lesson like 3 or 4 times a day, and she just does it. And so you just pick up the stuff through osmosis. So I tune her out. It's just like real school.
You still know just as much about civics.
You know me pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of grade? If I actually tried, what kind of grades would I got in school?
Oh, you'd have got good grades if you tried.
I'd been an A student if I tried. It was like I was telling my ex-wife, because we're talking about my son. He is a chip off the old block in all the most frustrating ways.
Yeah.
Like I want to call Tom Clark sometimes and just say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, like I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
I was like this. Yeah.
My bad, y'all.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, guys, if it wasn't for football, if it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have got good grades or even tried.
Yeah.
Because I didn't care. I just wanted to stay eligible to play football. Like, hey, I had to have X to play football. I'm like, all right, fantastic. I got to have a 2.0. Here's your C's, y'all.
Yeah.
Here is your C's. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, yeah. That's a C's, get degrees, kids. Remember
there you go. That's right.
You work hard. No, not hard. If you do the bare minimum, you too can graduate with a degree in sociology from Arkansas Tech University. So,
that's right.
That's why you're a salesman. But neither here nor there.
Yeah. Well, Clint, last week, if anybody watched the good old YouTube version of this thing we do here, this podcast, you might have noticed that my eyes were jacked up a little bit.
Yeah, no,
and they were like swollen and red, and man, there's not a good name for it, I don't think, but I was having an excessive amount of eye boogers. Is there a better name for that?
No, I've always called them eye boogers.
Yeah, sleep in your eye, whatever. And my eyes were red and they're just itchy. And anyway, and so Friday was our last day of school, and I just had to go for a little while and did a couple things, and I'd called into my doctor to get a refill of a prescription, and they said, well, before we do a refill, we need you to come in. Can you come in this morning? I was like, well, I'm already in town. Sure. And so I went, and I didn't see my doctor. I saw like the physician's assistant or whatever. And she walked in the room and said, what's going on with your eyes? I said, well, it's kind of good I came, doc, because I don't know. And she said, I think you got pink eye in both eyes. And so anyway, yeah. So I had a double pink eye, and I hadn't had that since I was a little kid.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I've never had pink eye. And
Really?
I'm not like bragging about that. I've never had
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Brag. Go ahead. Yeah.
But no, but the day of the eclipse, like I remember at my, and I think it got really infected and inflamed, and I went to the. It was the day of the eclipse because, matter of fact, I posted a photo of me with my eye all swollen and stuff. Like they weren't lying. Don't stare at the eclipse, kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not stare at the eclipse. I'm not that dumb. If
Yeah.
you did and bad things happened to your eyes, good.
Yeah.
You deserved it. But anyway, I just had a bacterial infection. I said, dude, did I do something? It's not just one of the things that just happens.
Yeah.
So I had to, do eye drops, and it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I've been doing eye drops for a few days, still doing them. So I got 7 days worth I got to do. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was crazy, man. Double pink eye. And I was, man, I was looking in the mirror. I was like, dang, dude. I
Yeah,
look
you definitely you wear your hat, so you've got a
yeah.
shadow right here, so it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah. And I do that.
It's not that it wasn't that you can see it that bad, but you could
Yeah.
definitely see like inflamed down here around your
Yeah.
cheekbone.
Yeah. It was,
I
and
do
part of that was from scratching those eye boogers out because, they get hard.
Yeah.
And so they rub on your skin. This is gross, isn't it? But anyway, they rub on your skin there. And so you're always trying to get those things out. Anyway, it was nasty. But anyway, so I'm on the mend. I'm on the mend from pink eye. Pink eye. So anyway. But
I did want to mention or thoughts, and I know your thoughts and prayers are going out to those affected by the storms in Northwest
yeah.
Arkansas. I know
And
my brother, actually, he is without power up there in Bentonville.
mm,
He's it's just gonna be a few days. I guess Rogers has it the worst. Um, and I'm not trying to use this as a shield for hometown roofing but
no, I think we definitely need to talk about that.
Oh, definitely. Good friend Robert Branscombe, honest, great man. Can't say enough good things about him. His phone number is 501-581-7235. He's got boots on the ground up there. They'll come help you tarp your roof, let help you walk through the steps of filing it with insurance and stuff to save you as much money out of pocket as possible. Mm-hmm. And if you just need help with, getting your roof tarped or something like that, they're up there doing that. They're doing that free of charge.
And that's what's so great about Robert and his company is first thing they did was pull off of a lot of the other things they could have been doing to make more money probably. And they went up there and with chainsaws and tarps and just started helping folks out. And, they're not asking anything, now it is good. Look, if you're a business person, that's good publicity. And it's, it's a chance to be up there and get to know some people that may need to hire a roofer. Okay. But I guarantee you, we know Robert, we've known him a long time. That's not why he's doing it. Okay.
100%.
He's doing it as he has the means and ability to go up there and help. He's got guys that are used to crawling on roofs and to check them out for people. And so they all have ladders in their trucks and they're all guys that, well, be honest with you, there's a lot of his guys are salesmen, he's got, and so they get a kick out of getting the chainsaw out every now and then and just showing how manly they are. Okay. So him and Scotty Johnson and Chad Stevens, I'm sure, and all them guys, they're up there being all manly, bowing up with the chainsaw, but they're doing it to help people. And so we need to brag on them. And that's just one. There's other businesses, there's other people when things like that happen. Arkansas is so great. If you've ever lived in a town where something like that's happened, I know last year we had bad ice storms where I'm at, and I had people, come around, offer to help, get limbs up and cut up some fallen big limbs around my place. And they, as a pastor in my town, they were calling to say, hey, can we help anybody in your church? Do you know anybody in the community? And we were able to help, get them to help one of our church members. So, there's lots of people that show up, but, we want to, Robert means a lot to us, and Hometown Roofing means a lot to this podcast. He's helped us out a lot. So we want to brag on them a little bit and tell you, if you're up in that direction, give them a call. Or if you're anywhere in the state, if you're needing a roof, the kind of guys you're talking about there. So.
Well, and if nothing else, I mean, yeah, of course, Robert would love to sell you a roof, but if nothing else, he's going to come help you out if
Yeah,
you're in a.
that's right.
So that's just the type of guy and type of company he had. So
that's
I
right.
wanted to get that out there.
That's right.
For
Well, Clint, we got well, there's a couple holy shnikes. We talked about one of them. The first one I want to mention is Bill Walton passed away.
Yeah, dude, there was nothing. Bill Walton either loved you or hated you.
Yeah.
I remember he had just the biggest man crush on Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was one time where Dennis literally he was standing there and the rebound fell in his lap. And Bill's like, Rodman, he just knows right where to be. All the time. The guy was like, he was just standing there. He goes,
It's all luck. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows.
You know, to me, he was to NBA what Dick Vitale was to college basketball. As far as the color commentator that was, you want, like, I enjoyed him. Some people may not have liked him or whatever. That's the same with Dickie V, right?
Yeah.
Some people, they don't like his energy. They don't like, Dickie V's, he's a dapper dandy, baby, all that stuff.
Right.
But Bill Walton was that to NBA. Okay. And at the time where we were coming up, probably watching more NBA than we ever did, we ever have in our life, because that was in the Jordan era, Rodman, Barkley, Knicks being awesome, and all that kind of stuff. He was one of those guys that you were hoping doing the games that you're getting on your local station. And so yeah, just sad deal. And of course, and then he, just hearing his playing days, and him, some of those documentaries about him doing, John Wooden doing with him, that would have been hilarious back to be around that stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, John Wooden looks old school as old school could be,
and
Bill
was
Walton
old school
looks
as old
about
school,
as
yeah.
hippie could be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always enjoyed watching his son. I pulled for Luke.
Yeah,
Walton. I wish he had a little bit more success in the coaching rank. He was a great assistant coach. He just hasn't found the head coach. But anyway, yeah, Bill Walton passed away. A true legend in the sport. Not just, we remember more as a color commentator. I got a feeling that generation, the generation before us, probably looks at Bill Walton about like what we look at Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
It's something, or maybe Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, somebody like that, as they see him more as an entertainer.
Yeah.
That. So.
Well, and he was, of course, a great player. Yeah, you're right. So, now the other holy shnikes is someone retired this week. And Clint, normally when people retire, there's lots of fanfare for them.
Oh, yeah.
There's highlight videos that go around social media of how great they were, how much they're going to be missed.
Right. And that's not
so, athletes, they retire their jerseys, stuff like that. Well, holy shnikes. Angel Hernandez, the major league umpire, retired. And no one's sad about that, Clint.
Well, have you ever been at a job and you have just one person that makes the job toxic? Just toxic. And then that person quits. And then you're like, holy cow, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is not, I can breathe. Like this isn't awful at all.
Yeah.
And then you go on about the job. It seems like Angel Hernandez was that person.
Yeah.
He was that toxic personality that no one, like, he quit and everybody was just like, thank you.
Woohoo!
Like, get on out.
Finally.
It's like, Alex Cora went to the locker room, played Celebrate by Cool and the Gang, and was like, Celebrate, good jobs, come out.
Man, dude. It's just so funny because seeing it on social media, people like, because usually there's, some kind of like, hey, whatever you thought about him, he had a good career. No one's saying even that. They're not even giving him that. They're like, yeah, he was in Major League Baseball for a long time. They're not even talking about that. They're like, why has it not happened sooner?
He was there, and now he's not.
He's not. And now we're all better for that. Because man, you watch some of those highlights. He made some bad calls, man. He made some bad ones.
And he didn't necessarily own them. Like, it's okay. I mean, like, look, if you're a human and you're doing your job, umpire, whether you're a manager, whether you're a lunch lady, whatever you do, you're eventually going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But if you make too many of those mistakes, it may be time to find a new career path.
Yeah.
Maybe being a lunch lady is not for you.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm just saying.
That's right.
So, and maybe being a major league umpire is not for you. Like, if you were that bad at your
maybe
job.
that's what his new career should be, is lunch lady. That'd be a good one.
Maybe. Because
he could live in lunch lady land. Hoagies and grinders.
Maybe. I mean, look,
meatloaf sandwich.
Maybe be an insurance adjuster, because you just get up on the roof like, no, denied.
That's right, denied.
Like, did you even look at it? Like, no. Don't need. I know that story.
That car is not totaled.
Not totaled. It's totally fixable.
Car is fixable. The frame is bent. I don't care. It's not totaled.
Have you tried a blowtorch? Just
right, yeah.
It is. I mean, not the insurance adjusters would never do such a thing. They're a very honest bunch.
That needs to be a Saturday Night Live skit. Is Angel Hernandez trying different jobs after Major League Baseball, and he just throwing people out left and right. That would be one.
By the way, holy shnikes, another holy shnikes moment that you weren't involved with. I had an unfortunate incident. Every day I go to Come and Go and I buy me a tea at lunch. That's all I do. I mean, an unsweet tea, the 44 ouncer. I put 8 sweet and lows in it. Listen,
8 sweet and lows?
8 sweet and lows in it. Listen, I'm going to tell you, Travis. Listen, I know there's like studies of them causing cancer, but if that's what cancer in mice, if that's what gets me, that's what gets me. I'm like, you know what? I exercise. I try to be healthy. I don't do crack. Yeah. I'm like, if I die from too much Splenda, that's what gets me. Okay, I mean,
8 of them though, like 2 is a lot for me.
But do you drink unsweet or do you?
Yeah, like unsweet. Like if I drink unsweet, I'll put 2 sweet.
How many of them do you have? I mean, how big of a cup? You put 2 of them?
It doesn't matter. Like in a regular size cup, I just do 1.
God, I can't do it. Anyway.
Like if I'm just at a restaurant, and that's what my grandma, that's how she made her tea. It was unsweet with sweet and low. And it was great. It was wonderful. But one
here's what's happening right now. The listeners are listening to this and they're like, those 2 fatsos drinking unsweet tea.
Sweet low.
I mean, mine's pretty much as sweet as it can be. It just happens to be unsweet.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, sorry, what happened?
I did experience the fury of getting stuck behind lottery ticket guy.
Oh yeah.
It's just unfortunately, Come and Go is now put in the self-checkout registers.
Yeah.
But I was like freaking lottery. He says there, he's like, what did I like? He scans one. He's like, what did I got? 20. Give me number 7. And I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? It's one, and you know me, I have no patience. It could be the
and best. Come and Go is like a big place. Like it's not a small gas station.
Now I found myself in Springfield, Missouri last week for manager meeting with the company I work for. And there's a Buc-ee's in Springfield. I had no idea there was. And so that brought me back to a time whenever, I talked up Buc-ee's to my son. If you've never been to Buc-ee's, it's like.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knows what Buc-ee's is now. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know what Buc-ee's is. You should.
Yeah. There's about to be one in Benton.
Yeah. I told him I was talking it up to my son. And then I went in and then we end up at a Buc-ee's Express.
Oh.
And it's about the size of a Come and Go.
Yeah.
He walks in there like,
this is nothing. Yeah.
Like, well, what are you talking about, old man?
Yeah.
Like, lost it. Put you in a home.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that's a conversation we'll have later with
and I was
Boston.
like, yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway.
What?
I
I'm getting
mean,
emails from the AARP all the time,
yeah,
like they're
yeah.
like they're coming off like a stalker. Stop
I
it,
know.
AARP. Stop
I
it.
get their junk mail and everything else. It's terrible.
I'm debating a restraining order against the AARP.
That's right.
Can't tease me with retirement when I've got how many years left on my sentence.
That's right. All right. Well, Clint, this week starts the big regional up in Fayetteville. It's
Big.
set. The brackets are set. Arkansas is going to host Kansas State, Louisiana Tech. Well, I got those in the wrong order. Louisiana Tech's the number 2 seed, right?
Right. Then
Kansas State, and then Southeast Missouri State is the 4 seed. So Arkansas will play Southeast Missouri State first, I believe, right?
Yes, Southeast Missouri State. They play at 2:00 on Friday.
And so that game, do you pitch Hagen Smith or do you save him for the second game?
You save him for the second game.
That's what I was thinking too.
For sure. And I would be shocked if Dave Van Horn.
So who's the pitcher of the first game? As Dave Van Horn said, you know?
No, but I would if I was a betting man, I'd almost bet Gage Wood.
Yeah, see, I think so too, because I think he's our number 2 starter now. I think that's what he's been building him up to be.
Yeah. So we have Southeast Missouri out of the Ohio Valley Conference. They are 34-25 overall, 18-9 in the Ohio Valley Conference. Now they won 8 of their last 10. And ended on a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Their record's not all that impressive. Against quad 1 opponents, they're 0-3, 2-1 versus quad 2. Most of their wins have came in that quad 4. But I mean, it's Ohio Valley Conference, like your Missouri State. Like, you're not going to get Arkansas to come there and play you.
Yeah.
If you're going to play like Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, a big baseball school, you're going to usually have to go there. It's a very rare occasion where a Power 5 school will travel down. Then, the one that I'm really questioning that's even in there at all is Kansas State. They're 32-34. Or 32 and never mind. I totally misread that. It's 32-24. I'm like, they got a losing record and they got in.
Yeah.
It's not that they're that bad. It's that I'm illiterate.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So 32-24, 15-15 in the Big 12. Then La Tech 40-17, 18-6 in Conference USA, 3-6 in the Quad 1, and then of course Arkansas. I mean, Louisiana Tech's going to be tough. I know you got a little bit of details about the team.
Well, I'd heard this.
Arkansas is the best team in that regional.
I was there's a player for Louisiana Tech named Ethan Bates. He's from Hot Springs Lakeside. He's a 2-position player, so he's an infielder and he's a pitcher, a relief pitcher also. Here's some of his accolades for 2024. This is a guy that Arkansas may have missed on for sure here. Now he went to Navajo Junior College first, and then he went to Louisiana Tech. But Conference USA Player of the Year. This is in 2024. First team All Conference USA, Conference USA All Tournament team, Dick Hauser Trophy semifinalist, John Olerud 2-way Player of the Year semifinalist.
By the way, how cool is that? I remember John Olerud.
Yeah.
And he has an award named after him. And this is how.
And he wore that batting helmet in the field.
Batting helmet on first base.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Ricky Henderson stories. He goes, "Hey man, I used to play with a guy that played with a helmet, and John Holder was like, "Yeah, Ricky, that was me." That's one of my favorite Ricky Henderson stories.
Did you see my Ricky Henderson story I sent to y'all?
I did, but I'm brain farting on what it
There was
was.
I saw it on TikTok or whatever, but this guy was this has nothing to do with the College World Series, but
No, but it's fun.
it's Ricky Henderson like to refer to himself as third person, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He said they were in the locker room and some guy was getting interviewed and he brought up the Bible verse John 3:16, and Ricky said, Ricky don't know nothing about John, but Ricky knows he doesn't hit no 3:16.
No, they said Ricky was hurt or something. He said he called the guy that's leading the league in stolen base. He goes, Ricky would have 50 by now. Clint.
Yeah.
Or something like
Yeah.
That's one of them records. I think with the onset of the power game, that's really his stolen base. It'll never be broken.
You know, another record he has I'd forgotten about is he has the record for the most leadoff home runs.
No, that doesn't shock
Most
me.
home runs by a leadoff hitter. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry we got off on Ricky Henderson right there.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, and if you win that regional, you match up with the Virginia regional.
Yeah.
I had that now that I googled it before the podcast started because I limit myself to one Google an episode. That's why I did it before it started.
Yeah.
And
in that regional, you got Virginia, of course. The Virginia, 2 seeds, Mississippi State, correct?
Yes. I'm trying to find it again. It X'd out, so I'm cheating here. So forgive me, guys. I apologize. Travis, fill the dead air with a song. Sing.
Some say love, it is a river.
Good job. Good choice to go with Conway Twitty. It's hard to
yeah, that's right.
The Cavaliers will be joined by 2-seed Mississippi State, Big East champions St. John's, and 4-seed Penn.
So you got to think Mississippi State probably has a chance there just because, well, how many of the top 8 are SEC teams?
6 out of the top 8.
I know you told me that before we started. So 6 of the top 8 are SEC teams. So you got to imagine Mississippi State is any SEC team, if they're a 2 seed, has a chance in wherever they're at.
Okay, that may be 5. I may have got that wrong. It's
or maybe 5, whatever it is.
I looked.
You play the SEC schedule, you're playing the best teams in baseball, pretty much, right? I mean, you're playing one of the hardest schedules you can get. And so Mississippi State has been tested. So you got to give them a chance against Virginia. So Arkansas would host against a super regional against either Virginia or Mississippi State.
I know a lot of people saying we got a tough draw with Tech. Here's the thing: you're gonna get the 2 seed's gonna be a good school.
Oh yeah,
because the 2 seed, you're anywhere from the 17th best team in the country to the 32nd best team in the country.
Yeah,
and I mean, so you're a good team
for sure. Yeah,
and so they're saying like, hey, Louisiana Tech's around number 21, 22.
Yeah,
because we're the 5 seed, and yeah, that's probably fair. So if you play your best, you're the best team in this regional. You're the best team in this regional and super regional by far, I think.
Yeah.
But now you got to go out there and you got to do it. That's the reason games ain't played on paper.
That's right.
You got to go out there and do it. And I'm excited to see what they can do. Obviously, the hitting's a concern. The pitching seemed to be wearing near the end of the year. You only played 2 games in Birmingham, so hopefully you're rested and hopefully they come out ready to play ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to hope they're rested. You got to hope, like you just said, you got to hope that the bad habits from the last few games that they've shown are not there. You got to hope that those that those weren't bad habits that were created or allowed that those aren't habits, that they're were just temporary things. Because because that can hurt us, because and here, like we talked about it last week, but we had pitchers that were not looking like themselves. We had hitters that are not. Well, I mean, some of our hitters haven't really done anything all year, and some of them are in slumps right now. So everybody besides Holton White and maybe Stovall are doing okay. Everybody else, well, Aloy has his moments. I mean, he's been our best home run hitter, of course, and one of our best hitters. But I mean, you got a lot of other guys. Our outfield's all doesn't have a good batting average. Your best defensive guys, Edmondson, and he's one of your worst hitters. So you got they got a lot to prove still, but you got to hope that the thing is, pitching cures a lot of evils, man.
Yeah.
In baseball.
Yeah.
And if the pitchers come out doing well, then we'll be all right.
Well, Hagen Smith has went out there and he's going to be probably a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, but I'm looking forward to the super. I'm looking forward to the regional. It starts Friday. Hopefully we're sitting here talking about an Arkansas matchup in the super regional next week, because you got pretty much a 4-team tournament, and then you got a series the next week, and then you're in Omaha play another tournament. So you know what? You've got to be in the postseason to have a chance for the national title, and where we have a chance.
That's right.
Travis, have you ever made an agreement that
Sure.
you're like, you know what? I really wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah,
and normally what me and you would do, we just call I got diarrhea, can't come. Sorry. But every now and then you sign a contract.
Yeah.
And you get yourself. So reports are out there this week that LSU versus USC, opening weekend of the season, in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Allegiant. Have you ever been to Vegas and seen Allegiant Stadium?
No.
It is a gorgeous looking stadium. I've never been in it, but it's a gorgeous looking stadium from the outside. Vegas is one of my favorite vacation spots, and I don't even hardly go to casinos. I just go in there and do all the drugs. I'm joking. But anyway, so no, it's a big, beautiful building. And so stadium, I mean, they're hosting Super Bowls, WrestleManias. I mean, they've pumped a lot of money into making it, nice. So LSU is going to open up the season with USC, and apparently USC has spent the last 2 years trying to do everything not LSU, USC, Lincoln Riley, as since he's got there, has done everything he can to get out of playing the game. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Lincoln Riley's a coward. No, I'm just joking.
Heard it here first, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think USC wants to start off with a, Pepsi probably got to start off with a win, and they know that playing an SEC juggernaut like LSU, that's like LSU's, even when they're down, they're going to have probably a lot of superior athletes out there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
The USC is going to have a tough time with, and so I think he sees that as a losing option, and he doesn't want to start off the season with a loss.
Arkansas, we all complain about everything in Arkansas. In reality is, if you're Sam Pittman, you're not going to out-recruit Alabama. You're not going to out-recruit LSU, and you're probably not going to out-recruit A&M.
Yeah.
Now you can add Oklahoma and Texas to schools that are just, like right here. Just right next to you. You're not going to out-recruit them. You're going to have 7-6 teams on your schedule every year that's going to they're just because of where they are, they're going to have better. And we've talked about it before, how Arkansas just doesn't seem to turn out the in-state football talent on the same levels they do basketball talent. We can hang in basketball,
especially recently. Yeah,
especially recently. And I don't know if it's more than kids are going to you know, focusing on basketball and baseball and a little bit less on football. I don't know. If you know, Travis, tell me because I don't.
I don't know.
But no, but is this a product, of when you had the 14 playoff, you almost need an impressive win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You almost like, okay, like USC, well, yeah, they beat LSU. Or do you, now that it's the 12 team, are you going to see more teams you think trying to avoid, because the SEC's got that rule. You got to have a Power Five opponent.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's a Power Five team in football in name only.
Yeah.
I mean, they may be the worst Power Five team, even when Arkansas had Chad Morris as the head coach. They were that bad. So Georgia can get away with that one and keep a rivalry because Georgia Tech's just, I mean, that's little brother at best.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that's going to be something we see? I mean,
well, I'm going to take my old man get off my porch stance here. Okay.
You can go right on ahead, my friend.
We've talked about it many times.
You prefer the BCS.
That I prefer take the number 1, number 2 team, make them play each other, and then let the bowls do whatever. Because to me, that way the bowls stay relevant and every game during the season matters. Every game matters. Okay. And that's why you need, if every game matters, then at the end of the year, if 2 teams are undefeated, or say 3 teams are undefeated, they're going to go with the one with the toughest schedule, or the 2 with the toughest schedule is going to be the top 2 teams, and they would make the BCS, right? Well, when you have 12 teams in a playoff, okay, if you're one of the 3 undefeated teams, you're in, and you're well worse than a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how you get those wins. You get your 1 Power 5, try to find, get Vanderbilt on your schedule, get Georgia Tech, get somebody like that. Get, one of the not as good Florida schools, whatever. Get somebody like that, and it doesn't matter. Okay. If you got a big win to start the season off and you stay ranked the rest of the year, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay. And so now, if I'm a coach, if I'm Lincoln Riley, you're taking away that awesome game to start the season in Vegas, but I don't blame him, Clint.
No,
I don't blame him. If you want your team, because ideally, if a coach could design a schedule, you're gonna build up, right? You would build up. You would start off with the worst team you could play, get out there, get the cobwebs knocked off, play, and then you would gradually build up to where you'd want to test yourself early in the season.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my
first game.
That was going to be one of my follow-up questions for you. Okay, let's say we're Arkansas, so let's just say it's a good season. We're ranked number 15 coming in the season.
Yeah,
it's we're coming off a decent season. So you're ready. You have one non-conference game, and let's just say it's against Michigan. Just lost their quarterback. They're ranked number 5 in the country.
Yeah.
Where do you want that on your schedule? What is the sweet spot for that prime non-conference game?
I think it's, to me, it's you play that game after you've played at least 1 or 2 games before it, and you start the conference 2 weeks after that. Okay.
See, I think almost where the Arkansas-Texas game was, I like the number 2 spot. I like to open up.
Yeah. Something like number 2 or 3. Yeah. 2.
Yeah. Open up against the Rice. Maybe a directional Louisiana school.
Well, where Oklahoma State is this year, right? Aren't they the second game?
I think there's that game. I like the second.
You have UAPB.
Yeah.
And then you have Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And then, but I want, if it's me though, Clint, I want a buffer game in between that and when conference starts. So like if we played Michigan, I would want to play Michigan. I would want a solid game, but not necessarily like either one of the not as good teams in my conference, like a Kentucky, a Mississippi State, somebody like that, somebody that is going to be a challenge, but someone that I can also lick some wounds, because I want my players to go all out against Michigan. And then if I was to lose to Michigan, then I want to have a game that I can come back and win and build some confidence back up going into the conference season, because you still have a chance to make the playoffs, going into the conference, on a high note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I do also, coming back to the story, I do want to, and I agree with you 110%. We're on the same exact page there. The depths that USC went to try to get out of this game. Fox Sports got involved because they didn't want, because this is the USC's first season as a member of the Big Ten with 16. I don't know, not big math guys in the Big Ten, 16.
Yeah.
And so you have them guys. So Fox, because they didn't want their first game to be on a rival network, because I guess Fox shelled out a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they're getting $5 million a team to play the game.
Yeah.
They weren't. Yeah, there's no way. I guess they hired the athletic director at USC away from Washington, and he was still trying to get out of the game. Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly share an agent. And the agent tried to do that, and Brian Kelly was like, "No, we're playing the game."
Yeah.
Which tells you Brian Kelly probably feels pretty good about his squad.
Yeah.
It happened in Arkansas a few years back where Michigan had the chance to go renew the rivalry Notre Dame, and they paid money.
Yeah.
And we had to replace them with Colorado State, who was absolutely terrible, and we lost to them up there. And then we had the famous Club Dub incident.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember Club Dub, Travis?
Yeah, I do.
They celebrated at Club Dub after beating the juggernaut, which is Colorado State.
Yeah.
At home.
But okay, we don't have to debate that. Chad Morris gets a hard time for that. Which Club Dub is pretty much the same thing as turn that jukebox on.
Well,
it's the same thing. It's
it
just
is not.
When he
did it. That is. Listen, you've said some dumb crap on this podcast.
It's the same thing.
No, because
them partying in the locker room after a win.
Here is the difference. Here's the difference. Turn that damn jukebox on was an organic statement that the kids latched onto and they made something. Well, Sam Pittman did not say that trying to make it something. It's not a sad thing like Club Dub. But
well, that's true. But it was planned for them to turn on music and celebrate.
Well,
he just gave a name to it. He didn't call it Club Dub. Okay. Chad Morris was a little more organized and called it Club Dub.
But also, I do get when you're trying anything to hype up your guys. So it gets made fun of a lot because it didn't work. If it had worked and we were going like
there would have been Club Dubs all over the country.
Yeah, we'd be like everybody, like Club Dub's the greatest thing, and there'd be Club Dub t-shirts. We're making fun of it because it didn't work.
Yeah.
And that is the main reason.
Yeah.
So
now Clint, switching to basketball. Finally, DJ Wagner has told us what he's doing. And yes, he's coming to Arkansas. Okay. DJ Wagner's going to be probably the point guard. He'll probably start at point guard for us.
Yeah.
DJ Wagner averaged 9.9 points, 3.3 assists, 1.9 rebounds in 29 games at Kentucky, of which he started 28 of them. He averaged 25.8 minutes a game and shot 40.5%. He's a former 5-star prospect, and at one point was rated the #1 prospect in the country coming out of high school, but then I think ended up in the top 6. But
Yeah.
It's a good pickup. I think he's gonna be that guy that I think Cal trusts him. That's why Cal's going after him. Um, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna be someone he trusts on the court and someone he can count on to run his offense the way he wants to run it. And so I think he's a good pickup. I think
100%.
he's a big piece for the puzzle. I think Cal still would like to get maybe one more big man, and then he'll fill out the rest of the scholarships with maybe some other guys. But um, that gives us what, 9 or 10?
9. We if we were sitting here last year and I told you Eric Musselman's going to leave, we're going to have a disastrous season, and there Eric Musselman's going to bounce, and we're going to be better off.
Yeah.
You would have probably had me checked into an institution.
Or not. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about doing that anyway, but still, yeah. I mean,
we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, no, but I mean, you're so much. I mean, you're better off. Arkansas is probably going to come into the season a top 10 school.
Yep.
And for good reason. I mean, it's just,
for sure.
Cal's got it, and we're going to be a force in basketball as long as he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's will he ever win a national title? Who knows?
Yeah.
I hope so, but it's going to be an interesting season. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm looking forward to watching how they gel.
Yeah.
And I think Calipari's got a good relationship with Wagner. So, and we beat out Musselman for him, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and beat out his girlfriend for him.
Well, but y'all got to think a lot of them Kentucky guys, and I don't know, because a lot of them Kentucky players that transferred to Kentucky, you got to think about their impression. The game they played in Arkansas was the day the game day was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they know what Arkansas fans can bring, and I think Arkansas fans, whether we realized it or not, we showed up, showed out, and helped Cal recruit them guys.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm excited. I'm excited about basketball season. I really am excited about football season. I want to see, how this team does.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's excitement around all sports. I think football is probably the one we're feeling that easiest about.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. You got Petrino back, even as an offensive coordinator. Let's see what happens.
You got a quarterback everyone seems to be falling in love with.
Yeah.
Right now, we'll see. We got a linebacker that everyone's falling in love with, Spence. Is it Spence or Spencer? Spence, ain't it?
Yeah, it's Grady Spence.
Yeah. So you got a lot of things going for you. We got that once again, the young man, I say young man, he's the grandpa of the team, the 28-year-old freshman, former baseball player, man. I keep hearing good things about him. I know Trey Biddy's talked about him, the guy that used to work for Rivals that covered him in recruiting when he was coming out of high school, said, man, he's an impressive athlete. He said he's impressive in football. He's impressive in baseball. He said, but you should have seen him play basketball. So he said he's probably good enough to make it to some big teams playing basketball too. So you got to like that they've added an athlete like that with some wisdom to him. So we may. I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to see him do some big things on the field.
Yeah, you're going to have some guys like that. Travis, I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
This is a part of the program. Sometimes we're a little short on time. We do watch it, and I'm going to force the segue now. And something's happened that I never thought would happen.
Uh-oh.
I'm somewhat interested in soccer.
In what?
Soccer. I blame it. Yeah.
That you said a word. Sock. What is that?
I blame it on Ryan Reynolds and and Rob
Okay, so
McElhenney.
you watched a reality show about
I'm
it,
watching
and
a
so now
reality
all of a
show,
sudden
and
you're a
dadgummit,
fan.
this is worse than the time I got addicted to all my children. Now, don't get me wrong. You couldn't put a gun to my head and make me sit through it, the entire soccer game, but I've learned to appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
I really have. I've learned to appreciate it for what it is because, listen, the problem is you watch an hour and a half of guys run up and down the field and faking injuries. And then you kick the ball in the goal, but they don't kick very many balls in the goal. So every time they do it, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's awful to me, but I kind of keep up with what's going on and I understand it a little bit more. And kind of the wonky stuff they do in England where they're like, look, we know this doesn't make any sense, but we've been for years. So just let it go. Yeah, I've been, keeping up. And I think it's done that for, that, but the entire thing is it intrigues me because for little Wrexham, like
Yeah.
having owners like Ryan Reynolds and McElhaney is really good. But to get where they need to be where they want to be, which is the Premier League, like those owners are like gajillionaires.
Yeah.
Like they have so much money for where they are, but for where they want to go, like they don't have enough money.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
a weird
and I'll
dynamic.
be honest with you. I mean, I've always, me, you, and I both have always kind of made fun of soccer. And when I was managing a sporting goods store, the kids would come in wanting soccer stuff, and I'd say, "Why don't you teach your kid a real sport?" Parents didn't
I
like
wonder
that.
why he didn't make it.
Yeah, but didn't have many soccer sales at Hibbett's. But anyway, but now, I'll be honest with you. I think it's something that if I watched it, I would like. If I got to know the players, that and hockey both have been two sports that I think if I lived at a different place, different time, and I got into them growing up, especially or even let myself now, I think I would get behind it and I'd start watching it a lot. So
Listen, I'm going to say this right now. If there's any NHL players or Major League Soccer or professional soccer players watching the podcast, message Travis.
That's right.
Me. We
That's
will
right.
have you on the podcast and
We'll
we
interview you. Yeah.
yeah,
Come on with
whatever
it.
you do, just to help us, if nothing else.
You need some fans in Arkansas.
Yeah, just
that does.
help us learn the sport.
That's
you
right.
can come in here and explain it to us like we're 5 years old.
Yeah.
Which you'll need to because we're old and set in our ways. But no,
that's right.
It really it's funny how like a sport like that like for dumb guys like me that don't maybe not understand this. Like the Ultimate Fighter did the same thing for MMA. Like you started kind of you got to know the guys and they got you to care about the guys. And I think Wrexham's done that. Welcome to Wrexham's done that for soccer and stuff like that. And it was one of them deals where like the women's team was a semi-pro team.
Yeah.
And they wanted to pay them and they were not allowed. Like them two do have to fight like British bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy that because they wanted to get something done in the stadium and it's like stalled in Parliament.
Yeah. And that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, Travis, now that I've rambled on about that, what are you watching, my friend?
Well, Clint, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I watched a movie that was intriguing. And I normally, this isn't the type of movie that, well, I guess it sort of is. But Last Stop in Yuma County. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but
it's one of those that someone on social media, suggested or something and, talked about how good of a movie it was. And I looked it up and I thought, okay, that looks kind of interesting. And what it's about is this little gas station / diner / hotel that is the last place to get gas for like 100 miles. Okay. And this guy stops and he's a knife salesman, like kitchen knives. And he's needs to get gas. He's trying to get to see his daughter, I think, or something. And so he he goes and anyway, he stops at this place. The place is out of gas. They're waiting on their truck to get there. And so he goes in the diner and drinks some coffee to wait. And all the while, some other people come. Okay.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a kind of a shoot 'em up, scary sort of, but very toned down. Anyway, it's worth watching, folks. I'm just telling you, the acting is great in it. And
Last Stop
it doesn't have a lot of huge actors in it, really, but it's
what's it on?
I watched it on Amazon Prime as I read it.
Okay.
It's a rental.
Yeah, every now and then it's fun to find like an obscure movie like that. Like I watched something like Everyone Gets Some.
Yeah.
About an 80s baseball team the other day, and I thought it was fantastic because it reminded me, like, yeah, this is exactly how we acted.
Yeah.
Back then.
So anyway, it's a good one. But I mean, you got to be okay with some killing. You know, there's some killing in it. So just
we are.
But watch the preview, see what you think, and it's worth watching. But folks, seriously, thank y'all so much for watching, listening, paying attention to us. Like, share, comment. Don't forget, if you're in Northwest Arkansas or anywhere in Arkansas, call Hometown Roofing. They will hook you up, and we'd love for you to talk to them. And if you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with the tornadoes and stuff that went through, and the wind damage and stuff that was all over the state, really, there's a lot of people got hit by that. So let's root on those Hogs this week in the regional. Some of y'all will be going to the game. Congratulations on that. Enjoy your time at Baum Walker and Woo Pig, baby. Clint, have a great like, share, subscribe. Have a great week. Peace.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I